Great Britain. A country that was so well known at a certain point in time, mostly because the entirety of the world mostly was Great Britain in one way or another. But nowadays, the only question surrounding Great Britain is Twitter asking, what's so great about Britain? I mean, you guys have all the best universal healthcare that you're always on about, and yet for some reason nobody decides to use it on their teeth. The best actors to come out of that country are ones that are just really good at doing an American accent. And when you really think about it, why are you so hyped up over Old Britain when America's had New England for like the better part of 10 or 20 years? Maybe longer, I don't know. My point is, the internet has a certain distaste when it comes to British people, so much so that they just have an overall hatred for Europe and specifically the UK in a number of different ways. And I'm starting to wonder why. Is it warranted? Is it England? Maybe it's Maybelline. What?
Riding round in a rover. If I see ops and it's over, I'll send man straight to Jehovah when I take shots like M. Sharapova. Doing up tennis. Call man Dennis, I'm a menace. Doing up olives.
You would think the fact that the UK and America both speaking English would mean that we're able to communicate 100% with each other, and yet even that's not true. See, here in America, we primarily speak English alongside lesser languages like Spanish for those down in Mexico, and whatever Canadians speak up north.
What country you from? What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes!
But in England, they speak the Queen's English, which is similar, but also not. For instance, the word moan. Here is a verb, something you do when receiving a prostate exam, or I guess if you're really into it, giving a prostate exam. But in England, to moan is to complain, as in what everybody's been doing in my comments. Holy shit, is it annoying. Sumito, you weren't factually accurate when talking about Ben Shapiro. Sumito, your 15-minute rant about women not being funny came off as misogynistic. My degree is in memeology. I'm here to provide you the facts about internet culture as they perceive them, okay? It's not in geography, so I'm sorry if I mix up Wales with Ireland, and it's definitely not in doing a British accent. Bit rude, isn't it?
Right, don't put too much weight on it, right? Wait, where the f*** am I meant to put my weight? Wait, I can't put my weight in the roof, it's dead fun, I can't hold on to it, what am I meant to do that? Oh, you know, I've been holding for 5 minutes, you fucking wank stain. Don't shift your weight up. What the f*** are you talking about? I can't put my weight on the fucking roof, I can't put my weight in the ground, where's it meant to go? No, man, I can't just fucking move it. Oh.
To understand the general distaste for England, you have to understand just a tiny bit of history, as most of the memes ragging on England came from historical recollections about how England took over most of the world and then proceeded to end up as a country where you're not even allowed to show a gun or knife in a music video, or you'll literally face years in jail. How did they come to this point? Well, back in 1985, there was a song released by Bowling for Soup. No, that's not how that went. Back in 2005, America declared its independence from England in the Revolutionary War. We seceded them and proceeded to celebrate by dumping tea into the water, as all Americans were willing to accept the fact that Orange Monster was the superior beverage to start out your day. As a result, England retaliated by doing nothing. That's right, absolutely nothing. Stay over across the pond with your weird teeth and warm beer for some reason. We'll be chilling over here with the good parts of the internet, where we can make fun of England without worrying about the Queen showing up at our doorstep with stale crumpets to hit you over the head with, or whatever you get punished for in England.
Oi, you got a licence for those memes?
Hello. You got a licence for those memes, chap?
You got a licence for
Means.
those?
That's what it means.
You got a licence for those memes, old chap?
Everyone gets one after 16, issued to them by the Queen,
Doesn't-
naturally.
Issued by the Queen, personally.
You get a little letter from her, like when you turn 100.
Okay, first of all, it's pretty cool that you guys get a letter in the mail from the Queen when you turn 100 years old, but that's not something we can't do here in America. Excuse me, Mr. Future President, but could you send me a letter in the mail when I turn 100? Thank you. And we'll just tag the future president of the United States, and I think we're good to go. The interesting thing is I don't actually have a meme license. Luckily, I live here in the States, where a meme license is a ridiculous concept, as is a TV license, which is something that really does exist over in the UK, from my understanding. It's basically something that you need to have that says that you paid your tax every month for owning a TV. This money goes towards publicly funded broadcasting and things like the evening news, the BBC, but it's a ridiculous concept, isn't it? You gotta pay money to own a TV? What if you don't own a TV? What other ridiculous things do I need to pay the government for in order to prove that I'm allowed to own this everyday Monday item? 4chan's got a few ideas. Here's a typical everyday average British morning. I wake up and I notice that a bobby's knocking on me door. Oi, open up, you cheeky bastard, and show me your sleeping license. Fumble around and finally find my license. Sorry, good sir. Here's my license right here. God save the Queen. Halt! Where's your TV license, you cunt? Draw the TV license from me wallet. Oi, mate! Where's your permit for this license? Show him my license permit. This license permit's expired. I'm taking you in. The bobby draws his toy gun, but I stab him with my unregistered butter knife. You're never getting my TV license permit, money, permit, license, permit.
Good evening, sir. I certainly hope you've got a license for that guy. Well, no, I don't. No? In that case, in the name of the Queen,
We can't have a meme video about the UK that's just all Brexit. What else have we got? We've got 21 Savage, he's ours.
Yeah.
We claimed him.
Tick.
What else? Who else? Great British people.
I'll save you the trouble of the heavy thinking, Ross, because there aren't a great number of great British people. I mean, you've got U2, and fine, I'll give you Attenborough. But when it comes to 21 Savage, and fine, he is English, his music only really got good once he moved over to the States. The stuff he made back when he was living in England was posh.
How much tea have you poured? A lot. Making sure it was hot. A lot. Man, them get me a knot. The thing goes skr pop pop pop. How many rifles you shot? A lot. How many blue coats you shot? A lot. How many times you got stabbed? A lot. How many big fluffy hats? A lot. How much do I love the Queen? A lot. Sir Savage, the 21st chapter. How many times were you sloshed? A lot. How many times were you pushed? A lot. How many chances have you gotten shagging around with thugs? A lot.
It's tough to pinpoint exactly one reason as to why it is that Americans look down on English people so much. On one hand, it is very easy to clown on a lot of parts of English culture, for instance, your food. I don't know why you're so excited about beans on toast. It doesn't seem like a culinary delight to me.
Proper British dishes, part 35. Pretzels on fucking fire. This was a wartime delicacy when families needed to simultaneously feed their children and heat their homes.
But I think we can tone it down to just the way that British people are portrayed in the media. I mean, you saw how much 21 Savage was clowned on when it was discovered that he was actually born in England. But I think this stems from a systematic impressioning of British people just appearing uppity and superior to all Americans. They're always portrayed as the villains in modern day media. They're always the judges on shows like America's Got Talent. It's very easy to hate on them. And I think it's because of that we want to belittle even the most mundane things about British people, such as their voices.
This is how British people count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But why is it that the Queen's English, British people speaking English, is the only language that gets clowned on in such a vast, open manner the way that it is on the internet when it comes to that?
Your virtual assistant. I'm Siri, your virtual assistant.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt.
I think what it comes down to, and I really do think it's this simple, is that British people are just much worse at taking a joke at their own expense, which is weird considering that Europe has a whole thing called banter, which is just taking the piss out of each other. You'd think you'd be able to handle a joke or two, but instead, on the internet, where you kind of have to be able to have a thick skin or you're just going to continue to get ragged on, British people continue to just be overly sensitive about their teeth, their food, their women, the way that they speak their own language, which we stole and now make fun of them for. Even Japanese people can laugh at the way that they do their language.
Ichi, 簡単だね、そのまま。2、 3あはーパターン見えてきたよ。もしかしたら漢字いけるかもしれないと思わせといて、いきなりこれ Why Japanese people? Why? わざとだろこの罠。漢字難しいよ。 Next 金と同じ銅。 Why Japanese people? 金銅どっちにしようかな同じだもんね。ならないからおかしいだろ。
The way that British people pronounce words in English just seem odd. And it's very funny when we see Americans sort of satirize the way that British people say certain things, which is what gave birth to the abundance of the British people be like memes.
British people be like, it's Tuesday, innit? British people watching Spider-Man be like, Peter Parker. British people be like, can I get a bowl of water? British people get mad and be like, are you fucking stupid? British people getting stabbed and be like, oi there mate, bit rude to put that knife in me chest, innit?
Take Exhibit B, a British person reading out the same hilarious British memes.
British people get high and be like, good heavens, I'm quite toasted. That's fair, you know. Probably said that once. British people watching Spider-Man be like, Peter Parker.
See, it's just not, it's not the same, you know? Maybe it's the terrible food, maybe it's the really dreary, cloudy, rainy weather that's always over England, but the humor just isn't the same, and it definitely doesn't translate to friendly national banter between countries on Twitter. I won't say that no British people are funny, it's just that British people are so quick to be unbelievably offensive when it comes to humor. Make fun of a British person as an American. See how quick they jump to obesity or school as their go-to punchline. There's memes about it everywhere. Even the most famous clip of very famous British comedian Jimmy Carr is the most offensive joke he's ever written.
If only Africa had more mosquito nets, then every year we could save millions of mosquitoes from dying needlessly of AIDS. Wow.
Now, obviously, I don't want to generalize too much when it comes to British people. Some of the funniest things that I've ever seen in my life have been the works of Ricky Gervais. If you're a fan of The Office, that was originally a British show, now wasn't it? If you're a fan of most things, Whose Line Is It Anyway? They were originally British shows. Where would I be without watching Carl Pilkington travel the world in such a goofy manner? There are funny British people. I think it just takes to the way that they behave on the internet is a little bit out of their realm. Memes are being policed over in the EU, and we all know that that's no fun place to be in. But the one great thing that I can say about people in Europe, people in England have great money. The euro is extremely strong right now, which means they are in an excellent position to buy the new fall fashion lineup on SumitoMedia.com. Get yourself some spooky skeletons. Get yourself some other spooky skeletons. It's gonna get cold here in America soon. It's cold all the time in England. What are you doing other than buying my merch? It's the best use of your money, whether it be dollars, pounds, unless your currency is clicks, of course, in which case you should spend them on both the like button and the subscribe button. That'll make sure that you don't miss my videos coming out every week. I'm so happy that you made it to the end of this one, and I'm very excited to see you on next week's episode. Stay safe, my friends. Space.